to the long-awaited FL Studio 12 Complete Basic Tutorial. I am Nathaniel Fisher, and I'd like to firstly begin by apologising for the low quality and poor organisation in the original FL Studio Complete Basic Tutorial. That was nearly 3 years ago now, and with the release of FL Studio 12, one of the biggest updates to FL Studio in quite a while, I would like to take the time to provide you with the tutorial that I originally aimed to create, armed with a greater knowledge of both music production and the FL Studio interface. I'd like to say thank you for all of your kind comments in the original tutorial, and also for the helpful advice. Despite the fact that arguably the tutorial was successful, I really do think it was very low standard, very poor quality. But with that, I think it's time to move on with the tutorial. In the tutorial I will be covering navigating the application, basic pattern creation, adding your own plugins to the program and creating very convenient shortcuts to opening them, automation, and mastering. Basically, arming you with the knowledge of how to create simple tracks in FL Studio. So with that, let's begin. So, FL Studio 12, for me, has two really good selling points over the previous versions of the application. The first one is a vectorial interface. What this means is that these aren't images that make up the interface. These are mathematically calculated shapes, meaning that these can be on massive screens as long as the resolution is high enough, giving you lots of room to work. The second selling point is the implementation of a driver called FL Studio ASIO. Now, ASIO is a driver that allows for near zero latency input, which is fantastic for live performing and also for recording directly from a MIDI keyboard such as this one into the application with maximum accuracy. FL Studio ASIO is the first driver that not only allows for near zero latency audio processing, it doesn't lock the audio device to one application. So I'd like to show you how to utilize this driver. Now, I believe it will start up with the primary sound driver. Now let me show you the difference. So that's with the primary sound driver. Now we can reduce this, but if we reduce it too far, and a lot of tracks are playing at once, these things called underruns happen. Now these underruns cause crackles in the audio, artifacts that can be really quite annoying and can reduce the accuracy of what you're actually hearing with regards to the final track. Going below this number, a lot of the plugins break instantly. Now with ASIO, which I can't switch to because it will break my recording, it allows for that near zero latency, but it locks it to FL Studio only, meaning I can't record. So all you have to do to take advantage of this is go to FL Studio ASIO and click the Show ASIO panel. It will be set to 512 initially, but if your CPU is good enough, you can turn it right down to 256, meaning only 6 milliseconds. Now of course plugins etc. add to that, but this initial number is a good 70 milliseconds less than with the default audio driver. Make sure you select the correct microphone for any recording that you want to do, and make sure that you select the correct output. But it's that simple to set up the near zero latency driver. If you don't mind a few artifacts and want less latency, you can turn off triple buffer. As you can see, that's taken off 6 milliseconds. But basically, the more complex your project is, the more you'll have to turn up this value. But first I'll try using triple buffer, because that adds a minimal amount of latency and can fix a lot of issues. I'm going to leave this unchecked for now, because I want the least latency possible. So that's how to set up FL Studio ASIO, something that I think is brilliant. It's a really good advancement by ImageLine.